to where I am right now. If you go and speak to her, it will then kick off the quest, A Test of Faith. Do is go to the south of Annesburg or to the very end of the New Hanover sign. You gotta go north of the Elysian Pool to the side of the Kamassa River. You'll drop down a couple of layers and you get to the point where just towards the edge of the cliff. Third one, we're gonna go north of the Annesburg sign to the right of the Roanoke Valley. If you go and put your waypointer to where you see it towards the valley, you can then go up to the right and you can essentially walk up the side of this leg. Go and put your waypointer to essentially on the border to the west of Roanoke Valley, where you see I am right now. Do a little bit of climbing here just to get around to the top. There will be a small jawbone-like bone there, and that is your next one. The north of the O in the New Hanover sign, there is a building just above it. Then turn your back to the building and walk down to where you see I am right now. To the west of the O Kriegs Run Lake, and if you go and place your waypointer to just climbing, so you're probably gonna have to sort of start a little bit further down, almost on the actual path itself, and will then work towards the very edge. And for the next one, if you go to the north of O Kriegs Run, this time setting your waypoint to essentially in the middle of these circles, as you see here, it's pretty easy. This location, this time to the east of Donna Falls. You go and place your waypoint to the side of the eye, which is probably one of the first ones that is not on the ground, hence the side of the wall. So this is one of the things you find if you place your waypoint to just below the S in the Bacchus Station sign, and you then walk up this hill. You'll then get to the point where there is a small rock, this time to the other side of the river. You then go and place your waypoint to this location here. Again, for a cliff, you'll then have to drop down a couple of ledges, so try and make sure you don't trip and fall off the edge at the same time. Next one, if you go and place your waypoint to below the C in the Cumberland sign, and work your way to the top of this cliff face, you will see your next bone. West of our previous location, to the side of the Dakota River. If you go and look towards this cliff face, inside the wall is quite hard to see, but this time on the other side of the Dakota River. Again, you're going to go and set your waypoint to over here, and you're going to walk towards the edge of the cliff. Then if you go to the east of this Dakota River sign, and you go and set your waypoint to where you see me standing right here, up again, climb up the side of the cliff, so you're one. But once you get there, if you hug the wall on the way around, you want to go set your waypoint to northwest of Wallace Station, to where you see I am right now. And then you're going to work your way around. You're actually going to see there is a cave. Admittedly, it was actually nighttime when we did this, so it might be. Now, continuing further west, literally between the W and the E on the west Eliza sign, actually on this kind of borderline you see here. If you go and set your waypointer to that location, it will be a very obvious spine-looking bone. It's a little bit south of our previous location, as you can see just down here. This one, pretty easy. Again, these are invariably going to involve you walking towards the edge of some kind of cliff face at the New Heartland sign, and you actually want to go specifically to the oil derrick, climb down the ladder below. Once you get down there, southeast of that location, you'll get to this point where the cliff face sort of surrounds either side of this. You've got this mini sort of canyon in the middle, a shallow gap. That is. Next one is further south from the New Heartland sign, actually overlooking the railway track. If you go and look there, you can see that this one is actually next one. If you go to the north of the Dewberry Creek sign and you place your waypoint to where you see me right now, and over on the right hand side, up on the bank, they're very similar locations, just a little bit further south, again in this sort of dried up lake. This time over here in this opening, this one is actually pretty hard. In order to get the last 8, you ideally need to have completed the game. Located in New Austin, so we are of course in the old map. The waypointer to the northeast of Armadillo is just on the edge of the San Luis River. If you go and set your waypointer here, then towards almost the edge of the cliff, set your waypoint to just below where it says Rio del Lobo Rock, and then this is up the cliff again, so you're. But once you get to the top of here, you walk up there. If you then go to just below the B in the Rio Bravo sign, you walk up here, again towards the edge of the hill, for this creature. One is between the A and the U of the New Austin sign, and this one is kind of in the middle of a barren area amongst a few cacti. That, if you go to the north of Cola Springs, very close towards the edge of the border, you will then find this arm that is sort of half in the ground, half in the wall. This bone, you're going to go and put your waypoint to between the D and the G of the Gafftooth Bridge, and if you go and climb to the top of this mound, or this 30th bone, what you want to do is head to just below the L in Tumbleweed, and then work your way all the way to the top of the hill. Now, with all 30 acquired, or at least all 30 locations acquired, what you now need to do is go to the post office and you can then post these locations. But if you want to get the knife, you need to do all 30. And you will receive an invitation. You then go to the quest location, and upon doing that, you'll get a cutscene and you'll then be given the jawbone knife. That, my friends, is how you can find all 30 dinosaur bones.